I swear to Jesus. What? What? This is nuts! What the f is wrong with me? So, Bloodmyst Isle. It's the next and final stop in the Draenei questline. The Exodar crash has mutated the wildlife, and the red crystals that landed on the isle upon impact have changed the atmosphere and terrain into a red tinge, hence the name Bloodmyst. So as adventurers we're sent over there to help out where we can. Now something kind of interesting happened not long after I had hit record. Recording, writing, doing voiceover, editing, and there's some other smaller stuff in there. What the shit? Okay, that came out of nowhere. Yeah, it did come out of nowhere, didn't it? In order for me to explain this journey in a way that I hope is cohesive, I'm going to split the quest lines into their own parts. So you might see my level in the top left go up and down. This begins, as it normally does in WoW, with walking into the next zone. So upon walking into the area, the atmosphere literally changes. Everything is red and the music goes from quiet and peaceful to eerie and dark. Things aren't looking great. Our introduction to the zone doesn't lead us further in, but instead going back to warn the others of an incoming Blood Elf attack. Note that these Blood Elves go by Sunhawks, but we'll continue with Blood Elves to keep things simple. I sort of skimmed the quest details near the end, so I was quite surprised when the game spawned a mount for us. Oh shit, we get a... Oh, cool. Alright, I genuinely thought the game was gonna ask me to walk there. But no, I'll take this. I'll take it. Upon completing the quest, I'm tasked with heading to Bloodwatch, where we'll be getting most of our quests. And there is so much to do. While the Blood Elves were plotting, there were other threats in the area trying to take advantage of the corruption caused by the Exodar crash. We're facing all sorts of enemies from bears, lashers, spiders, whelps, nagas, murlocs, and so much more. I think at one point I had 15 quests in my log, so you can see why I wanted to split this into parts. The first threat to tackle were the Sayers. Quick in and out, grab the glyph and leave. Cool. Heading over, I do what I can along the way and arrive at their camp. Things could have gone better. I almost died not long after I got there, but this seems fine, right? Well... Gee, what the shit? But I am still alive. Somehow. As we already know, bosses drop quest items, so we get a kill quest. And I can't really write about what happens next, so I'll just let it play out. Please don't kill me. No, I don't want to die! That's the first death. Well, I suppose it was bound to happen sometime, right? And I'm right, it was bound to happen. I just wish it had been less anticlimactic. But whatever, I clear out the rest of the Sayers, and when I return to Bloodwatch, I get a quest in my mailbox from Admiral Odysseus asking me to travel to Wormscar Island. The island is infested with whelps, nagas, and ghosts? Yeah, we help out Captain Edward Haynes, who had been eaten by the whelps after drifting ashore. His quests involve killing nagas and diving deep underwater near the edge of where you're allowed to traverse, in fact, and effectively kill undead voyagers, putting their souls to rest. This all culminates in killing one last naga at the top of a small island, earning us a pretty decent shield. But he's not the only quest giver on the island. We also meet Prince Toreth, a dragon rider that had lived on this island. This was pretty cool to learn because I did play through Dragonflight when it was released, so seeing some lore drop here in all places was kind of surprising. He also mentions Deathwing. Like, I'm new to the lore and don't know much of it, but Cataclysm was my first expansion back in the day, so it's nostalgic to get a Deathwing name drop. Toreth being on this island is the only reason I even mentioned Edward Haynes, because I couldn't transition to being on the island without first mentioning the letter we got from Odysseus. And the coolest part is that Toreth gives us our first group quest, killing Razormaw. Many of the Black Dragonflight were slain during the attacks. One of them A lieutenant of Deathwing himself still haunts this place. If you look to the heavens, you can see his spectral countenance circling the skies. His hatred is so great that he remains even in death. Take the bones that you gathered for me earlier to the top of the mountain on this island and place them in the ever-burning pyre. This act should signal Razormaw to descend. When he does, slay his undead form.
We get to kill a lieutenant of Deathwing. That's great. I wasn't able to do the quest when it was given. I still had dozens of other things to do, which I've opted to cut from this video because the Razormaw quest just seems like a fitting end to this chapter at least. I return at a higher level and make my way up the mountain, ready to take on the boss. It's here that I use the looking for group tool for the first time.
Let's look at the tool. Group browsing? Maybe custom? Oh. It's people selling boosts.
Yep, nothing's really changed there. One thing I missed from Classic was using the looking for group chat channel to actually find groups to do dungeons with. You could still do that, but nowadays it's just people trying to sell boosts or move between layers, which was a thing even back then, but by relegating that player-to-player interaction to a tool, you've removed the social aspect of the game. On the bright side, you're still forced to walk to dungeons, unless you have the summoning stone available. I tried typing in general chat but get nothing. Fortunately, I didn't wait long for a player to come running up the hill. We party up and make short work of Razormaw.
Easy.
And that was it. I make my way back and pass a rogue that I think was lagging. We hand in the quest and get some good robes as a reward. I managed to do every side quest in the zone by this point. It wasn't without its frustrations. I got lost at times, some quest items were tough to find, and I had died for the first time to the satyrs. But that was just the beginning. After wrapping up everything on Azure Watch, we're sent to help out the Hand of Argus, which from what I can gather are a faction of Draenei that exist as a sort of military force against the Blood Elves. And this is classic WoW, so we're not hailed as a hero or a champion, but just a rookie. As is explained, Bloodmyst used to go by Silvergale until the radiation corrupted the region, and the Blood Elves have spread their numbers, so it's up to us to kill any that we find. While exploring, I might have overshot where I needed to go because I ended up going against higher level enemies, which, well...
Oh, he wants to go. Oh, it's level 17. Jesus.
Funnily enough, it wasn't until moments after that I needed to be there anyway to search for a missing Draenei named Ghislaine. So I went back to the cryocore and things did not go smoothly.
I'm somewhat nervous, but I think we'll be okay. Oh, jeez. What do you mean immune? Oh, there's another one, dude. So this is the same NPC from the initial pool? I just didn't notice it was still alive. No. Okay. We're okay. What? What? Again? Again? This is ridiculous. This is ridiculous. We might be dead here. What? What? This is nuts!
So I make a break for it, and yeah, my third death. I was genuinely confused at first why NPCs were just appearing out of nowhere, but this wasn't like the rogue from earlier. They were just respawning after another player had killed them. It was just bad timing on my part. So I spawn back in and decide to just wait out the respawn timers, and my camera settings almost gets me killed again.
I swear to Jesus.
So I find Ghislaine, grab the amulet and return it. But while I was doing the quest line, I was given an important quest that would move the story forward.
It is good to see you again, Joytaps. I have a quandary that you might be able to solve. Our agents situated behind Sunhawk lines have reported seeing Sunhawk soldiers parsing an unusual document. Unfortunately, we have been unsuccessful in acquiring a copy of the document for ourselves. I need you to go out in the field and try to recover the document. I am certain that if you apply enough pressure, a Sunhawk agent will turn over the information we seek. I leave the use of force to your discretion.
It wouldn't take long for me to find the document, and when translated, it describes the Blood Elves opening a portal to the Outland, named the Sun Gate, and a Draenei traitor helping them. After a bit of back and forth, we learn that the traitor is Coronis, and they're using the Vector Coil to harness more power to take over the Bloodmyst Isle and reclaim the Exodar. It was a lot to take in, but we now only have two objectives: destroy the Sun Gate and fight Coronis. But all of this would be put on hold because during the quest line I had hit an important milestone.
We might hit 20 from this. We did. We might have a quest from our trainer now, because if I remember, you get a quest at level 20.
And I'm right, all classes get a special quest at level 20 that advances their character in some shape or form. I go straight to the Exodar and start the quest.
The Call of Water quest is arguably the most stressful quest I've ever done so far.
Unlike before where quests were contained within their respective zones, Call of Water would send me the furthest I've ever gone before. It all starts in Exodar where my trainer explains that a water elemental named Aqueous wants to see me. Okay, cool. The first problem that I ran into was actually finding the hidden reef. Since it's an undiscovered area, I can't use my map to find it. I fight some Murlocs and by chance I happen to catch a glimpse of an elemental in the distance. I swim down and meet with Aqueous and begin the quest. So the radiation is corrupting the waters and killing the wildlife, and we need a sample to bring back. I had already dealt with the water spirits before at this point, so it was a simple enough task. And while walking there, I remembered I had unlocked wolf form.
Wait, I've got wolf form. Oh my god. It took me a while to use it, I completely forgot about it. But this feels so much better. Look at this, we go fast. Yong.
So I gather the samples and head back, and it's here where things take a turn.
It is worse than I feared. The corruption is very potent, and if unchecked it could spread to the ocean currents and be carried through all of Azeroth. We are going to need a sample of the purest water to counter this malignancy. There is a forest on the nearby continent of Kalimdor named Ashenvale. Near its southwestern border is a place called the Ruins of Stardust. Take this Boda bag and fill it with the water from the fountain on the small island at the center of the ruins. Hurry, Joytaps.
Yep, we're going to Ashenvale. Getting on a ship to Kalimdor wasn't going to be a problem, but I was already a bit curious about the logistics of this trip.
Take a ship to Aberdeen and then head south. But I'm wondering what the levels are going to be like of the NPCs. The quest doesn't ask us to kill anything, so we should be okay. And it is in yellow. If it were red, it would mean it's too high level. So I think we'll be okay.
Now my logic is pretty sound, right? The quest is unlocked at level 20, it's yellow on the quest log, which means I should be able to do it, so why do I feel so goddamn nervous? But anyway, it was pretty nostalgic being on the Dark Shore. I rarely came here during Classic, and it was nice to be in the open world. I ignore some quests nearby and stick to what I'm doing. There's only a single path leading further south, so all I had to do was stick to the path, and eventually I'd be in Ashenvale. When I enter, I unknowingly make my biggest mistake, which would stay with me long after this quest and even while I'm writing this script.
Southern Western. Down here somewhere?
Now I don't know if any of you have seen a compass before, but that is in fact not Southern Western. I run past some Forsaken Scouts, a small taste of things to come, and continue heading in the wrong direction. I reach a Stranar, which is an alliance settlement. It offers me some comfort as I grow increasingly nervous at the levels of enemy NPCs, which are getting higher.
So I'm guessing down here, there should be a crossroads here. Maybe there's a sign that we can look at that might help us.
This is painful to watch, man. Why am I like this? I head so far off course that I start running into the horde and enemies almost 10 levels above me. I make the brave decision to veer off path and into the woods, jumping into a random pool, thinking it was the fountain that I needed to go to. This is why it pays to read the quest closely. And I die to a shade thicket. I walk back to my corpse knowing that I'll probably die some more and continue, and I can't stress this enough, in the wrong direction. It's only after wandering aimlessly for a few minutes that I come to the realization. Near its southern western border is a place called the Ruins of Stardust. Near it. This is east. I'm in the eastern part. That's west. Oh. Don't look at me, YouTube. Close your eyes. I don't know why I thought that east was west. What the f*** is wrong with me? I don't know, Joy Taps, but we'll get through this together. Remember kids, never eat shredded wheat. So now that I'm on the right track, everything's fine now, right? Well, I reach a place called Mistral Lake and it goes about as well as you'd expect. We're dead. We are actually dead. Shit. You know how I said that everything should be okay because we don't have to fight anything? Afterwards, we do eventually reach the Ruins of Stardust, but there's a problem. It's guarded. Could I have taken on these shade thickets? Well, some were level 23 and in packs, so I didn't even want to try. I instead tried to sneak up on the fountain, and yeah, of course we die again. I hatch a plan to simply resurrect next to the fountain, bind the key item to my action bar, and hope that I can fill it in time. It is. Okay. He's just staring at us menacingly. No, you son of a bitch. That's fine. That's fine. I surprisingly do not die and Hearthstone back to Bloodwatch. You'd think that would be the end, but no, there's more. Now that we have the pure water, we just have to use it on some barrels and stop Telathian from corrupting the water. Behold, as I tried to scale up a mountain because I didn't want to go around, but of course it doesn't go to plan. Oh, I hate this game so much sometimes. Like, we have to go all the way around, and it's just ridiculous. You'd think there would at least be a shortcut here, but there isn't. Look at that, just all the way around. It's silly. I do have to admit I was a bit tilted by this point and ran through some mobs which obviously didn't go too well. Once I found a camp, I drank up and set my totems down. Not really knowing what to expect, I cast Flame Shock out of habit, but this means Earth Shock is on cooldown, which is useful for interrupting casts, and I die pretty quickly. The next time around goes much better. We grab his head and bring it to Aqueous. For our troubles, we get a water tome and a healing spell. That was so stressful. That was so stressful. It is 10:30 at night and I'm recording this, and that was just so stressful. With only 2 objectives remaining, our time on Bloodmyst would soon be over. After tricking a blood elf into telling us what he knows, we learn that the Vector Coil has structural weaknesses, but there's a small problem. The blood elves guarding the Vector Coil are all elites, so I do the easiest task first of destroying the Sun Gate, which was pretty anticlimactic. You just turn it off. Mwah. We did it. Right? Okay. Immersion ruined. The hardest part was next, and despite the quest log suggesting 2 players, I decided to give it a go anyway. It did not go well. I decided to just resurrect at the graveyard and wait out the 10-minute debuff. All I needed to do now was just look for a group. How long could that possibly take? 30 minutes of me asking for a group go by, and I watch as another player accepts the quest.
He's gonna die. Straight up, he's gonna die. Yeah, look at that. You died, dude. An hour passes and I begin to lose a bit of hope, but in this hour I make a promise to myself. I'm making it a point right here, right now. If I'm ever in an area and people need help with a quest that I've already done, I'm helping them. I'm gonna whisper them, say, hey, I can help. Or maybe, better yet, if I'm ever getting tired of doing these series of videos, or maybe I've just reached the end point, I'm gonna come back to this area and just help people with their quests. I'm gonna make sure that everyone gets to do all of the quests that they want to do, because the idea that people would just skip these 2 quests when they're the last quests that you need to do is absurd. Another hour passes and it begins to dawn on me that I might be stuck here. I didn't want to skip the final 2 quests because I just knew that they were the last in this quest line, but I also didn't want to leave and come back because I wanted the quests in order, and leaving the zone unfinished just wasn't happening. It is now 8:36. While I continue weighing, I begin thinking of ways to get help. I have no friends that play this game at the moment. I'm not in a guild. I'm in some discords that I think have a World of Warcraft guild, but I don't see why they would want to help me. I'm kind of at a loss on what to do. This quest asks for 2 players. Wait. Oh my god. Is this it? Is this it? Okay, they're in the area. They're nearby. They're on their way. Yes! I'm so happy. I'm so happy. I don't sound very happy, but I was. These 2 players could have just done it together. They didn't need me, but they saw my messages in chat and brought me along. I thank them before the quest is even done, and one of them responds with,
"We help each other."
And you know what? Yeah, we do help each other. I was in silence, locked in as we stormed the Vector Coil. The assassin again. We fought our way up and stopped Suronis. Whoa. Whoa, Jesus. With 2 other players and a friendly elite, we didn't really struggle in fighting her. It's just a shame that there was nothing to loot from her. I didn't want to stick around, so I said my thanks and Hearthstone back to Bloodwatch. You have saved the whole of Bloodmyst and Azurmyst, securing the Draenei way of life on Azeroth Joy Taps. For this, there can be no amount of thanks, no reward, nothing large enough in scope to truly express our appreciation. Yet there are still so many that were left behind in Draenor who cannot be here for this historic event. You must find your way back. Find your way back to the Outland, hero of Argus. Bring our people home. Home to the land that you saved. Home to Azeroth. Our name is yelled out for everyone to see, and I make my way outside. It sucks that I have to lose my mace and trinket, so we'll just keep the trinket like somewhere down there for now. Oh my god, wait, oh my god, that's so cool, they're all here to celebrate, and the prophet's here. Oh, we get a ring, critical strike, hell yes. Oh, I'm taking the tabard as well. This is a nice way to wrap up the quest line, the storyline. I like this. After everything that we just went through. And you know what? Right in front of them, I'm gonna log out. And that brings an end to everything we were working towards, not just in this video but in the previous one too. But I was wrong about it being the end of the Draenei storyline. Admedius said that there are plenty of Draenei still captive in the Outland, so we have to go and get them. I was gonna go there anyway, but at least now we have a reason to go there. This all amounts to roughly 19 hours of footage, 6 spent in Azurmyst and just under 13 here for this video.
And this was a lot of work, from recording to writing to doing voiceovers to editing. Moving forward, videos like this will just take more time to work on, and I want each video to be longer and cover more ground. I haven't decided where I want to go, but I'm leaning towards Aberdeen and Ashenvale, probably even do the Black Fathom Deeps dungeon, but that's for next time.